Hey guys, how's it going? Now we are going to look at Loudwire's top 25 rock albums of the past 25 years. These lists are quite fun. I always enjoy scoping them out. And this one, these lists always bring controversy, don't they? Because people are like, oh, that's not a rock album, that's a metal album, that's a punk album. But do you know what? We're just going to look at it. I'll give you my thoughts as the video goes along. Now, what I thought would be fun is I'm going to rank these albums, okay? I'm going to put them into 3 different tiers. So the first one is on the playlist. So this album is something where I agree it should be on the top 25 rock list, and it's an album that I enjoy. I'll be listening to that, do you know what I mean? Or have been listening to that. The second list is I get it. Not necessarily my favourite album, but I can understand why it would be put on this list. And yeah, I get it. The third tier is Are You Joking Me? Which is a nice colloquialism from the UK that people use if they are in disbelief at what you are saying. So these are the albums where I think it shouldn't be on there. It just shouldn't make it. Now, disclaimer, guys. I know ranking anything lists cause a lot of rage online. This is about opinions, all right? We're allowed to have a difference of opinion, particularly when it comes to music. Everyone's tastes are different, so please try not to kill me too much in the comments, but I want you to get involved. Let me know what you think of my thoughts. Let me know what you think of the Loudwire list. Let me know what should have been on this list. Drop it in the comments. And guys, if you like this video, if you love music, guitars, anything music related, follow the channel. Really, really love your input. But let's get to it. Loudwire's top 25 rock albums of the past 25 years. Come on. Right, so here we go, guys. This is, according to Loudwire, the 25 best rock albums of the last 25 years, compiled by 5 of the Loudwire team. And they kind of recognise that, look, picking 25 records across 25 years to symbolise the best rock albums is not an easy task, but let's see what they got. And again, this is not kind of chronological. This is just a list they've compiled. And they've gone straight in with a heavy hitter, Deftones, White Pony, year 2000. If you don't know this record, I don't know where you've been, to be honest with you, but this for me is definitely on the playlist. Deftones, White Pony, I can completely understand why this would make a top 25 list in the rock world. If you know it, you know why it's awesome. If you don't know it, get listening to it. And I would say check out the track Elite, alright? Yeah, we all know Digital Bath and Change and all of those, but Elite is where it's at right now for me. Come on, definitely on the playlist. Next up, the guys at Loudwire have chosen Him, the album Razorblade Romance from the year 2000. And mate, this hit definitely the You're Joking Me section. I remember this back in the day when it came out. I think I listened to it once and said, probably internally, I never want to hear that again. And for the purpose of this video, I did listen to it again, and I just don't know why it's on here, to be honest with you. Let me know, guys, what if you think it's worthy of the top 25 rock albums of the last 25 years. I mean, this, for me, maybe it's just me personally and my style of music that I enjoy, but there's nothing on here where it would get anywhere near the top 2 million rock albums of the last 25 years. So if I need to recommend a track from this album, I would recommend throwing it in a bin and listening to something else. Anyway, next up we've got Limp Bizkit, Chocolate Starfish and the Hot Dog Flavoured Water. This album, I get it, particularly if you're around at the time, the hype was insane, and if you're aware of Limp Bizkit at the moment, they are doing amazingly well, largely due to this record, I feel. I have put this on the playlist. There are some tracks I really, really enjoy. I don't enjoy the whole album. There's some tracks on here, absolutely I'm skipping. But there's a lot that I do enjoy. And I can see why it's made the list. So, track to recommend, I would say, is Boiler. I really, really enjoy the song Boiler. I listened to it recently. Absolutely love it. And also, obviously, the Mission Impossible track is awesome. Still to this day. Fair play. Now we move to Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory, released in 2000, and this makes the I Get It section on my list. I'm not the biggest Linkin Park fan at all, to be honest with you. It just doesn't hit me, but I can understand why this record is on the top 25 albums list. This album's huge, influenced so much music over the past 25 years. So yeah, it definitely, in my mind, deserves its place. And the track for me to listen to is Paper Cut. That's still an absolutely awesome track. A lot of these songs on this album, personally, doesn't do it for me, but I get it. No issue for me of this album being on this list. Now, this record is Blink-182, Take Off Your Pants and Jacket from 2001. I've put this on the I Get It list. It doesn't make the playlist because there's a couple of question marks. Obviously, it says the top rock albums. People are going to say, oh, Linkin Park, but actually, I kind of see why they might make this list, and they've been really consistent with their releases in the 2000s, I would say. The reason this record doesn't make the playlist is because, number one, personally, there's only a few songs on that record I like, and secondly, the album that should have been on this list and would definitely have been on the playlist is Blink-182's self-titled album from 2003. That is the record that I would be more than happy to stick on the top 25 rock albums in the last 25 years, because that album moves even further away from their punk roots. It's still there, but there is just some absolute classics on the self-titled. But I get it. This Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, yeah, I can see why it would make a list like this. And I would recommend the track Reckless Abandon off this one. That is still a quality track. Come on. And next we go with Incubus, Morning View 2001. Here's where my bias kicks in massively. This is on the playlist, 100%, maybe at the top of the playlist. Absolutely love this record. And I can see why it's on there as well. If I try and take a step back from my insane bias on this album, I can see why it's on there. Lots of people love this album, really popular, and just the whole album, top to bottom, full of awesome tracks. And it sounded fresh at the time and still sounds awesome now, man. Like, what a record. Top track to check is gonna be Circles, one of my favorite Incubus songs ever. Just one of my favorite songs. Love that song. If you haven't heard it. If you haven't heard this album, check it out and let me know your thoughts, guys. Okay, now we move to Jimmy Eat World, Bleed American 2001. Mate, I listened to this again as part of revisiting these albums. What a record, man. This is on the playlist for me. I didn't think much of it at the time, I'll be honest with you, when it came out. But as time has gone on and my musical tastes have broadened, I can see this and appreciate this for what it is. And I can see why this would be in a top 25 rock album list. What this album has probably influenced is hard to measure when you think of the alternative scene right now. And they are still absolutely smashing it live today. I saw them not too long ago. And hell yes, Jimmy Eat World. These songs still hold up on the record and live. That is on the playlist. Check it out if you haven't. And the song you need to check out is not The Middle. You need to check out the song Sweetness. Alright, that is the song to listen to. Next up for me, this is 100% on the playlist when we're considering top 25 rock albums of the past quarter of a century. Audioslave with their self-titled 2002. You can't get more rock than this. Made up of ex-Rage Against the Machine band members with Chris Cornell on vocals. There was so much hype. I remember when this came out, me and a friend sharing an earbud to get a first listen to the title track, Cochise or Cochise, however you pronounce it. And from that first listen, I was hooked. Everyone around me was hooked. This album is modern rock defined, I would say. Insane. There's just so many good tracks on here. And I would recommend, if you haven't heard this album, first of all, go listen to it. But you've got to listen to the track Shadow on the Sun. But just listen to the whole album. Next up, we've got Queens of the Stone Age, Songs for the Deaf, 2002. And this is in my I Get It list. Not my favourite album. I'm not the biggest Queens of the Stone Age fan. Love some of their tracks. And this album in particular, I've heard it many times. It's never really clicked with me as a full record, but I get why it would be on a list like this. Absolutely, it's an album that has inspired so much music, so many bands. And yeah, I get it, guys. Queens of the Stone Age. This is a rockin' album, to use a very outdated old man term. But yeah, it is. It belongs on a top 25 rock list over this past decade. Song to check is going to be cliche, but No One Knows is still an absolute classic. Probably hated by every rock DJ ever now, but still, you can't deny it's a quality track. Next, we've got a record that, I'll be honest with you, I have only heard this album maybe once, and I'd never really liked it, and for it to belong in a top 25 list is quite confusing for me. But again, it could just be that I'm not getting it, and there might be people that absolutely love this. Well, I know there are people that love this record, hence why it's on this list. But I've put it kind of in between the I get it and you're joking me list, because I guess this is where my own musical taste gets in the way here. I can't see why it belongs on this list. I think this might be where you have to help me out. Drop it in the comments, guys. Do you think it belongs in this top 25? I'm just not seeing it. In fact, I'm going to put it in You're Joking Me. Yeah, for me, just because, it's personal scoring system. Personally, I can't see why it's on here. I'm not saying it's a bad album. It's, absolutely, I'm not saying that. It's just, I can't see why it belongs on the top 25 rock albums list. Let me know if you think it deserves its place. Top song on here, I'm going to say, I don't have a clue. So you let me know what you think the top song on this record is. I tried listening to it. None of them really clicked for me, to be honest with you. Yeah, you're joking me. Sorry, AFI. Nothing personal, though. We've got an album next where I get why it's on here. The White Stripes, Elephant, 2003. Obviously, iconic now, this record, particularly the Seven Nation Army. I mean, that song it has transcended all culture, hasn't it? I think people hum that little riff without having any idea of where it comes from now. You hear it at like football stadiums, all sports events. It's crazy how insanely huge that song is. And just as an album, I get why it's on here. It's inspired so much. Remember when this record came out, the two-man band thing, everyone was doing it. Every open mic night, every gig, there'd always be a two-piece. And that's continued to this day, hasn't it? There's more and more two-pieces around. White Stripes brought that to the fore, and this album, it's not my personal, I don't ever listen to this record, to be honest with you, but I get it. I get why it's so popular. The rawness of the sound, the rock vibe it brought is undeniable, and yeah, inspired so much. So I get this record. The track to listen to, I'm going to say Seven Nation Army. I'm going to go with a cliche for this one. I'll be honest with you, it's not my favourite album in the world, but that track, it's got a vibe, that's for sure. Evanescence, Fallen, 2003. I bought this album when it came out. Still got the CD somewhere, and quality record. I initially put this between I Get It and on the playlist because my tastes have changed. I listened to it again recently and didn't hold up as much as I thought it would. It's not a bad album. There's still some quality tracks. So I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna put it in. I Get It. I get why this is on this list. It really impacted the rock scene massively in that sort of gothic heavy tone. Also, Amy Lee's vocals brought a unique vibe to the rock scene that carries on to this day through other bands. I'm sure she's influenced so many people, and Evanescence, just as a band, the sound they brought is massive, isn't it? So I get why this is on the list. Track to check, I'm going to say Haunted. Check the song Haunted. Don't listen to Bring Me to Life because it's been played a billion times everywhere you go. Every rock night, you'll hear that track. Listen to Haunted instead. That song is still quality. Green Day, American Idiot. Again, I get why this is on the list. I mean, at the time, I don't think people can appreciate how massive this album was. I went to a gig in Milton Keynes to see this tour. Absolutely insane. I'm not the biggest Green Day fan. I like a lot of their earlier stuff, and this album has got some songs that I quite like. I'm not the biggest fan in the world of it, but I can see why it's held up as a rock classic. Again, inspired so many bands, and probably still does to this day. fair play, American Idiot, for what you did to the rock scene. Song to check is in Jesus of Suburbia, which is quite a long song. There's a section where the chords are basically the same as Bryan Adams' Summer of '69, but it still sounds wicked. Check out Jesus of Suburbia and see what section I'm talking about. But yeah, I like that bit. My Chemical Romance, 3 Cheers for Revenge, 2004. I have put this in the I Get It section. I'm not a fan of My Chemical Romance by any stretch of the imagination. However, I can see the influence they've had. I can see why this album is important across the past 25 years. I can see the hype over this band reforming recently. And it's just, yeah, I get it. I get why it's popular. Not a fan, but who cares? You can objectively see albums for their impact at times, and this is one of them. Track to check is going to be Helena, So Long and Good Night, because that's the only song I can think of off the top of my head where I quite like the chorus. But yeah, you let me know what you think the song to check is in the comments, guys. Next, we've got Fall Out Boy from Under the Cork Tree, 2005. This is where I'm struggling, guys, to be honest with you. I can see how popular Fall Out Boy were at this time, but when I listened to this album, even back in the day, and I tried listening to it again for the purpose of this video, and I just can't. Maybe that's just a personal taste thing. I can't get into it. I've got it in between I Get It and You're Joking Me, just because I can see how popular it was, yes. But in terms of a record on its own, maybe this is just my bias. But yeah, I'll put it in I Get It because of how huge it was. Actually, no, do you know what? Controversially, I'm going to put it in You're Joking Me. I think there's better rock albums out there. Crucify me in the comments, guys. I'm going to say song to check is Sugar We're Going Down, because that's the only one I can remember off the top of my head, the title name. And the chorus is pretty decent. Next, we've got another My Chemical Romance album, The Black Parade, 2006. And do you know what? Controversially, guys, I'm going to score this I Get It, but I'm also going to say it's a cheat. We've got 2 MCR albums in this list, and I think we definitely could find another quality rock album that isn't My Chemical Romance. I don't think My Chemical Romance have made 2 of the best 25 albums across these 25 years. I'm not saying it's a bad album. Again, I told you I'm not into My Chemical Romance. I think the earlier album's better. But why we got... I know The Black Parade, I know how popular it is. Let me know in the comments, guys, which one do you think is more worthy of this list? Or do you think they both should be in there? I'm putting it in I Get It because, like I said, I do get the popularity. But if I was referee, I would disqualify it. So yeah, there you go, disqualified. Next up, we got the band that every dad will bring to the barbecue. Nickelback, all the right reasons. This is made for dad rock, isn't it? I've put it in the I Get It list. It's an album I never want to listen to again. I listened to it once. That was more than enough. But I can't deny the impact this band has. And yeah, I get why it's on here. Just because I don't like it doesn't mean other people feel the same way, because it's not super popular, and you got to go with the top track, Photograph, just because of the memes it's brought to the world. Next, we have 3 Days Grace, another dad rock favourite for you guys. I like some of the tracks on here. I've put it in the kind of I Get It or You're Joking Me section, because I don't know if it makes the top 25 across this quarter century. There's some good songs. No, do you know what? I'm going to put it in You're Joking Me, because it's not a bad album. Absolutely, I'm not saying that. But to put it in the top 25 rock albums across a quarter of a century, nah, I'm not having it. However, Riot is a quality song. Listen to that track, Riot. Great band, 3 Days Grace. Not saying that they're a bad band, and this album is good. It's a fun listen, but I wouldn't put it in a list like this personally. Next, we have Paramore, Riot, 2007. This album is on the playlist for me. I mean, the effect this had on just the alternative rock scene is huge. Obviously, we all know Paramore now. Their sound has changed quite dramatically from their early days, but
their sound prevails, their influence prevails, they're always popular, and I have no issues with this being on a top 25 album list. Top track to check is Born for This, go and check it out. Next, we have Shinedown, The Sound of Madness, 2008. This album, I've put it in between I Get It and You're Joking Me, because again, I just don't click with this music. It doesn't do anything for me personally, but that's not to say it's not a bad album. I just don't know if it belongs on this type of list. Let me know, guys, what you think about Shinedown, this record. They're a great band, but is this one of the best albums in 25 years? I don't know, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to put it in You're Joking Me again, because I don't get it. So I'm going to put it in You're Joking Me personally. Let me know if you think I'm wrong, guys. What am I missing? Because I don't really know this album that well, I'm going to say track to check is going to be decided by you guys in the comments, because I don't really know. Now we have Alice in Chains, Black Gives Way to Blue, 2009. Now this album, people are going to be annoyed, but I'm putting it in You're Joking Me. This album, I don't know why it's in the top 25 rock albums list. I tried listening to it, again, not a bad album, and Alice in Chains are an awesome band. And this album was good, but top album of the past 25 years? I can think of others. Off the top of my head, I can think of others, which is why I've put it in You're Joking Me. I don't get it, because personally, again, this could be the circles I'm in, the people I communicate with. Never heard anyone say this is one of their favourite albums. It's just been casually mentioned. So I've put it in You're Joking Me. Let me know if I'm wrong. This is not me slagging off Alice in Chains, though. I want to make that clear. So don't come for me, guys, alright? Track to check is, I would say, Acid Bubble, because it's got some cool riffs in there. Check that track out. Foo Fighters next. Wasting Light, 2011. I have put this in between You're Joking Me and I Get It, because obviously I get why Foo Fighters should be in there. Their influence is huge. Some quality albums. The reason I put it in between You're Joking Me and I Get It is because I think there's just better albums they put out in the 2000s. And let's be real, if this went back one more year to the album There's Nothing Left to Lose being dropped in 1999, that would be on the playlist, because that's an amazing album. However, I don't really know where to put this album, to be honest with you, because I don't get why this album in particular has been chosen. But I understand Foo Fighters should be there, so I'm gonna put. They've chosen this album. You're joking me. You're joking me, guys, because they released some better albums before this. So yeah, you're joking me. Sorry, Foo Fighters. Not a bad album. Not a bad album. Let me make that clear. But not top 25 rock album for me. Halestorm, The Strange Case of 2012. Again, for me, this straddles the line between I Get It and You're Joking Me. And that's not to say this is a bad album. This is a great album. I understand the impact it's had. I know how popular it is. Is it one of the top 25 rock albums of this quarter century? I don't know. For me personally, I'm going to put it in You're Joking Me. Again, like other albums in that section, it's not a bad album. And there are some awesome songs on here. I just don't know if it's in the top 25 personally. But yeah, great band, great musicianship. Top track on this album for me is Break In, quality song. Just a few more to go now. Next up is Ghost, Melora, 2015. Again, I'm not a fan of Ghost, not into it at all. It again straddles the I Get It or You're Joking Me section, but this could just be my own bias kicking in. Not a fan of Ghost, but that doesn't deny their popularity, and this album is a big one if you're into the Ghost community and understand their journey. So I'm going to put it in I Get It, because just because I don't like it and don't enjoy it doesn't mean I can't see it for what it is in a wider standpoint. But yeah, I don't need to listen to this album again. Song to check is whatever you put in the comments, because I don't know. Last album on this list is on the playlist. It's Turnstile, Glow On, 2021. I remember listening to this record front to back, and absolutely awesome track after awesome track. What a fantastic record, and their amazing rise in popularity is because of this album. I can see why it's on this list. It will probably on a top list for decades to come, like other albums on this list today. And I would say if you haven't listened to it, check it out. The track to listen to is Fly Again. But just listen to the whole album, it's quality. And that ends our top 25 rock albums of the past 25 years from Loudwire. And let me know your thoughts on my comments. Where would you score these albums? Which albums are missing? Am I chatting complete rubbish? Let me know, guys.
And there we have it. That is Loudwire's list. I will put on the screen my summary of where the albums fell in my own personal lineup. And yeah, I've got to say, really interesting read. What were your thoughts on this list, guys? You know, there's always going to be difference of opinion, even just what different people might label rock music. That's going to start a conversation in itself. Then compiling 25 albums across 25 years and naming them the best, whatever that means. That's going to create a debate on its own. So, you know, it's a never-ending conversation, but I appreciate Loudwire putting this together. There's definitely a load of albums I could think of that should be on that list, but that's why these lists are cool, because they open up a bit of debate, and also they enable you to kind of either discover or rediscover albums that you might have missed or not listened to for a little while. So that's why they're always fun. Loudwire also did another list called Top 25 Rock Songs. I might have a look at that if I get the chance. Anyway, guys, big thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe. Big up Loudwire, and take it easy.